Ok, me acaban de llegar los reportes de que nomás hemos tenido un nuevo suscriptor y esa es mi mamá. Estamos muy agradecidos y nos está mejorando sugerencias que nos hagamos chismosas para que podamos tener más views.
El peor de los casos es de que nos dejó un upside down pineapple. No los dejó, oigan. Ni sabe ni qué es, pero nos dejó un upside down pineapple.
Ella hizo caso.
Sí.
Oh, qué moco.
Go.
Como el diablito. Hi everyone, welcome back to episode number 4. We're so excited. As usual, this is Nideaqui and I'm Maritza.
And I'm Tania.
And we're here very excited because we have new subscribers. They're family members, okay? But
so far,
it counts, right? It's subscriber
Shout out,
counts.
Mom.
And the best thing about it is that they don't speak English, so they're not going to understand what we're saying. So we're going to stick to English a little longer.
Moving forward, we will only be speaking English. So I had a topic that I wanted to bring up.
First of all, I have a complaint.
What?
You giving me this sweater was a really bad idea.
Why?
Because you're I'm going to be wearing it every
Wednesday.
week, every Wednesday. Every Wednesday because they're so cozy.
Okay, you know
I just want to be like.
And last week you were like, "It's so hot in here," which it is. But girl, it's so hot in there.
Calor ahorita. It is hot in here. It really is hot in here.
They're so comfy, huh?
But it's really comfortable, and I was like, I just want to wear it. Cuando se ensucia me da coraje.
They're really comfortable.
Yes.
And the color too.
But
it wasn't my thing. It wasn't for me. So I have a question. My question is, let's see how you're gonna laugh because I told you earlier that I wasn't sure whether to ask this because I don't have an answer for it. You're gonna be like, girl, how do you not have an answer for that?
Oh, really? Okay, tell me more.
So tell me, Maritza, what are your red flags?
My red flags?
And I was like, I don't have any. I can't think of it. The whole week I couldn't think of one. You know what though? Because would you not agree that the red flag is in the eye of the beholder? What is that?
Of the one going like this?
No, would you say like it's someone that says what your red flags are? Because you don't necessarily see them yourself. Okay,
wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Kind of like, how do you know what's your red flag unless someone tells you those are your red flags?
Oh, what are like my red flags? Like
you were gonna start telling me mine?
No. No, I thought you meant like if I'm dating someone and I'm like, oh, that's a red flag. Or you meaning like what is my red flag? Like como que like córranle.
Okay,
I know what's my red flag.
What?
I think my red flag is.
She's like, I'm so good looking.
What it could be, my red flag is actually, I thought about something, pero no sé cómo ponerlo en perspectiva. Pero es como, por ejemplo, like I could be a little deceiving and like poker face a little bit. So meaning como, por ejemplo, if I'm dating someone, right? And I already lost trust in that person. Like, you can't tell. Like, you can't tell because I need to first, like, kind of, like, get information and kind of, like, back up my claim. And then...
So you would be, like, nothing.
Like, I'm like, behind the scenes, basically, like, doing my research. And as soon as I have my research, I'm like, bang. And te agarran como en curva. I feel like that will be a red flag because I'm like, I'm not. You probably won't even notice.
Okay.
Like I that's what I would consider.
You're literally able to continue on with your day like nothing happened until you actually have like the
Proof.
evidence of
Yeah,
like what you think
because
is
I
true.
think the reason why I became like that is because in the past, like when I would like confront the issue like right away, they'll somehow brainwash me and be like, no, eso no es cierto, I didn't do that, and blah blah blah. And then I'll start questioning myself, and I'm like, am I being paranoid? Like, am I like tripping? I'm like, maybe they're right. Like, maybe me pasé, soy una tóxica. Pero no. So like now I learned like I'm just gonna calladita, hey man, like yeah, let's go, whatever. But I'm doing the research, and as soon as I have it and like I have proof, and boom.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
So it's like you carry the relationship for longer just to show proof evidence.
Pretty
basically.
much, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And maybe that's just for me because like people are gonna be like, oh, well, you could just leave, and I'm like, yeah, I can, but I want to make sure you know, I know. Like that's.
And also like, what if the evidence is it's like no, that wasn't true. At least also like you're leaving 100% sure that what you thought was happening happened.
That's true. I have another red flag. Yeah, I'm gonna be exposing myself right now.
Yeah, I have another 3. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a red flag, but I'm sure, and it might be because it's been brought up to my attention. That's why I know. But I've been told that I'm not as like what's the word I'm looking for? Como que I don't care enough. I don't care enough, but I do care. But it's like
your guard up.
Yeah, like my guard is up, and por ejemplo, ¿cómo te digo? Like I'm not gonna beg you. So like if you're looking for that, I'm not the person. And I'm very good at separating my brain from my heart. So I make decisions with my head. So like if I'm in a relationship and mi corazón está como que, ay, sí, te amo, blah, 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 todo eso. But my brain's like, girl, pay attention to that, A, B, C, D, and D. My brain takes over. Like I can't be this lovey-dovey person if my brain is not connecting here.
Yeah.
So I think that's like for people. So a lot of guys are like, no, because you're heartless, or you're this and you're that. And I'm like, no. And what I've noticed throughout the years is that when this and this don't connect, it's because of them. Because they already made me kind of like separate them.
Like that's
because
not in your nature.
Al principio, like I'm into you. Like I like you, and obviously if I'm talking to you, it's because I'm interested, and like you already caught my attention. So those two are connected at the beginning. The person's the one separating them, and once you separate them, like it takes you a little while to bring them back, and so far that they have never been able to bring it back. So that could be a red flag that I don't think with this one. I think with this one, and my actions are always based on this.
Like it has to be logical.
It has to be logical. I'm very logical. Yeah.
I'm afraid I don't know that I have any red flags.
Flag number 1.
That is so true. My red flag is thinking.
Okay.
My red flag is thinking I don't have a red flag. No, I don't know how to like point it out myself, because I'm sure if like you ask Fernando, he's gonna be like, "Girl, it's 1, 2, 3."
She's a walking red flag.
Yeah. So, but maybe it's like, for example, you gave the example of like I had like people tell me that this is that. So it's like maybe I haven't had people tell me. I've just grown up.
Would you like me to be the honest?
I will.
I will.
But in a relationship, okay, I maybe a red flag that I can think of. Yo acá creo que.
Qué pregunta tan difícil, eh? O sea,
would
Miss
be
Perfect over here. What's your green flag?
Well, glad you asked. I'm very caring.
Oh my god.
No, what I say is my red flag. It's probably that I cut people off really fast.
That's your red flag?
Like, yeah. Like, it like in relationships, like you'll do something that will turn me off, and then for me it's like, I don't want anything to do with you. Nope, thank you, bye. Like, like I get turned off really quickly. Like anything. That's why I don't know. I remember like when I started dating Fernanda, I was like, let's see how long this goes, and I'm like, oh, 2 months, 3 months. Oh, that's a long time. 4 months, 5 months, a year. What the heck? And I'm like, how have I been okay being around him this
for so long,
right? And even till now, I mean, maybe he'll do like little stuff that I'm like, boy, but nothing major. But yeah, like the people that I've dated aside from him, like I, I get the ick really fast for people. Like I'll get an ick, and it's like I cannot see it. Ew, no. Like, or it can be anything.
it's so funny because I don't know if it was a movie or something that it's a movie that about the ick, and I'm like, have I ever had the ick? And maybe just haven't been able like to identify it as that. But like, yeah, they say like as soon as you get it, you can unsee it. And I'm like, oh.
And that would happen to me like over and over again. Like if I was turned off, then I'm like, I just can't continue to talk to. Which it's red flaggish because it's like, I mean, I would think so. Because if I did something that was like turn offish, it's like, well, how do I know that? I don't know. Maybe it was like I was down bad, or like it was a mistake, or you get me? Like I stuttered there, you're turned off. You get me? Like it could be as simple as that sometimes, as little as that.
Parado, ya no me gustó.
Yeah,
no se peinó.
No se peinó. But I think that's how I was like when I was younger. But I mean, I think that's a red flag. What else?
But it's that it could be, I don't know, but you were also young.
I'm like, my red flag is that I care too much.
I see. My red flag is that I'm a perfectionist. I used to hate it. I used to hate it when they would say that like at school. What's your weakness and strength?
You know,
and they'll ask you that question.
Oh yeah.
My weakness is that I'm a perfectionist. And I'm like, ridícula, cállate.
People judge that these days. It's like if you say that in an interview, they'll judge you. Like they're expected to actually.
Pero a la misma vez estoy como que pues tampoco no.
Like
esa sí, yo quiero todo perfecto. Porque I mean, if they do, that's kind of weird, no? They judge it.
Like, oh,
well, maybe because they know.
Like if you're
you know why?
Weakness,
you know why?
What?
Because the people hiring now, it's us, the millennials. So we know you were trained like that at school, and you know it's a lie because it just sounds pretty.
What? Like at school, they told you to say you're a perfectionist?
Sí, que porque eso es una buena.
Oh, no way!
A good
You guys already know that's how you were trained.
So we're like, I lied too.
I'm afraid I work too hard. That's me.
Y están ahí en la...
Have you seen that post? It's like, yo tengo metas por seguir y bocas por callar. And then la señora is like right there watching the Rosa de Guadalupe.
Oh,
Sounds like me. But I think that's one of them. Another one, I don't know. I mean, obviously I have an attitude, so an attitude would be a red flag. But it's so weird though, because okay, I can agree. Okay, I have one because actually it did happen.
Okay.
I like to know where you are. I need to know where you are. So, like for example, not what earlier on too. One time this thing happened where, and you tell me if you agree or don't agree. This thing happened where I was dating someone, and then I also knew his friends, right? Okay. So point of the matter is I had one of his friends for class. It was high school. And then we were just talking, whatever. He was cool. And then he said, yeah, because we're going to the movies later on. And then I was like, who? And they're like, oh, well, all of us. And I was like, oh, this person too? And then they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, you guys just decided this? And then he was like, no, we like since the movie was going to come out, we decided that we were going to go, and we're going today. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, but I had no idea. So then, and I knew.
You guys were already like together, or it was just like the dating phase?
No, we were together. Well, it was like official, like high school stuff. And then I was like, what the heck? And then, so that person will have stuff like that where like they wouldn't tell me they were somewhere, and then like they would just keep going on the conversation. Let's just say we're having a conversation. Yeah, they will just keep going on the conversation, but the whole time they were at the theaters. You get me? Like they just wouldn't bother to say like, I'm
here, or I'm doing this.
Yeah, which is not a big deal, but I feel like.
But it could be because, digamos que no tengan mala intención, y de que no se le ocurre, ¿no? Like, como que, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go with my friends. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But the fact that like, but then you find out, let's say, the next day, and you're like, well, why did you hide it? Like, eso ya se va a convertir en una tensión.
Yeah, that's,
y es como que ahí es cuando se empieza a
different.
quebrar la comunicación y
And
el
then but
trust.
for them, it's like, I didn't hide it. I just didn't think it was important. So that's when just two individuals aren't clicking.
Pero,
you know?
Yes, of course, pero tampoco no hay comunicación. Porque, did you say something after you found out?
Yeah.
Okay, and
I was like, oh, you're going to the movies. You didn't tell me you were going to go to the movies. And then they're like, oh my God, like, you, like, kind of like, they made it seem like I bug. Like, oh, really? Like, you're going to trip over this? Yes, I'm going to the movies. Like, what's the big deal?
Well, that sounds like that was already, like, there's a lot of more tension.
Which is funny because I remember that happened. Like, they didn't have, like, they weren't aggressive by nature. They were just, they did seem annoyed when I'm like, oh, this happened. Like, I didn't know. Like, and they kind of just threw them off. And then they made like a comment among those lines, and that was basically our fallout. We like broke up probably like the next day or two. Oh. It wasn't that. It was just like he had this, I think for him it was like, oh, you're gonna be controlling me? Oh, well, that's weird. And I'm like, okay, like that's what it took. Okay, sure. Like, oh, you know. So it's like, yeah, definitely we were not 100% in the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember thinking like, that's it. Okay, like if that was such a big deal. Yeah. Like there's worse things coming, boo. Like,
yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, because I feel like, I mean, when you're dating someone and you actually care about the person, like, I feel like it's an automatic, and like, hey babe, like I'm gonna be over here. I'm going to my sister's.
So how do you explain that, right?
Acá. Or también is like, why weren't you invited to the movies? It's okay, you don't have to go with him every single time, como chicle todo el tiempo. No, tampoco. Pero
like, how do I not
eso es
know
como
where you are?
automático. Like, it's not, hey babe, like we're gonna go, the boys and I are gonna go watch a movie. Like, it's scary. We planned it a couple months ago. Porque pasa. Pero es like como que eso es como automático when you care
it's
for
just
the
automatic.
person. Yeah. And when you just don't care, then you just don't care. It's like, like none of your business.
Yeah, exactly. When you don't care, yeah, I think that's sort of what it was. But I'm like, I don't know, that's a red flag or like a little bit toxic. But I'm like, I do care.
Yeah, what I will find toxic, a little more toxic.
It's like, you need to be sharing your location with me, right?
Yeah, that's a bit much.
You're like, what's so toxic about that?
Pero deja pago la locación. Just kidding. No, lo que yo digo que es un poquito más tóxico es de que, por ejemplo, like I'm in a relationship or something, and I get upset because my man went out with his friends, or he gets upset because I went out with the girls. Like, I think like, not kind of like removing you from your friends is toxic. Like, no, like I met you when I had my friends already. Like, why you coming into the equation means I have to remove all my friends? Like, no. You're being included into my circle. Like, you're not gonna be like an outsider. So yo encontraría eso más tóxico, como que te quiera aislar de tus amistades.
Oh, for sure. Or when they say like, oh, I don't want you hanging out with this group of people because this and that.
Yeah, it's like,
I think they're like this. Like, yeah, for sure. When they start judging. Yeah, never. I don't think I've ever had that happen. What would you say are your green flags?
My green flags?
Well, you start talking.
¿Por dónde empiezo? ¿De abajo para arriba o de arriba para abajo? I don't know. I don't like talking about myself.
Yeah, me either.
It's weird. Like, I don't know, because
I think
it's gonna sound very, very funny, but only like maybe like one or two people that I've dated. You talk about relationships, right? Just to be clear, or like in general,
anything, but it could be a relationship. Like, it could be anything.
In relationship, I feel like I am very caring, but not everyone sees that side of me. Even if we're in a relationship, like that side of me, not everyone sees it. And because to me, it's like como que te lo tienes que ganar in a sense. Like, it sounds weird, pero es como, ¿cómo te digo? ¿Cómo te explico? Como te dije, cuando ya sabes, como cuando se desconecta el corazón con la mente, like, you already have like a little thing, so I'm not gonna give you my all. Like, you're not. But since I am a very giving person, like, I'm very like the, like the acts of kindness, or like, for example, if we're gonna hang out, like, I pay attention. I'm like, oh, le gustó esto, so I'm gonna
Oh
do this.
yeah.
Like I pay attention. I feel
Yeah.
like,
Acts of service
yeah, so I
almost.
like that. And like I feel like I'm very like homey, like como que así.
Mm-hmm.
Pero no nadie, no muchas personas pueden ver eso. And like in general, I think I'm very,
I think
I'm
it is that.
easygoing. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
easygoing. Like
Oh yeah, for sure. You're very friendly.
I
You're like, I've heard.
I've
I've
heard
been
it.
told.
I've been told that I have a resting bitch face, but
But
or chola face, and I'm just like,
well,
why?
maybe when you quiet, but or like.
No, pero sí, I think I'm very easygoing. Like
Mm-hmm.
dejándonos de bromas, I think I am. Pero I do feed off vibes. So, por ejemplo, te conozco a ti y como que sentí algo rarito, I'm not gonna be as friendly as I'm gonna be with the other person. Because that
Mm-hmm.
person como que se sintió el click más. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, hey, whatever. So, es como que eso, tiene que haber como esa conexión. Pero en general, like, I'm not rude. Like, I'm still gonna talk to you. And if I just don't like you, maybe it's a red flag. If I don't like you, I don't like you. Like, no lo puedo evitar. Like, no te puedo decir como que, ay, hola, ¿cómo es? No puedo ser hipócrita.
No.
And when someone else is being hipócrita, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like, it really pisses me off. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So maybe that could be a red flag or a green flag,
A green
depending on
flag.
how you see it. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's.
I think my top 10 green flags. I'm just kidding. Yeah, like this girl.
Ay, Dios
No, I'm just
mío.
kidding. I'll just give one.
Oh, perdón.
I'll give one
I'll
only.
give the main one.
No, I think one, and I think this could be either in relationships or in friendships or even I don't know. I think in
In
general.
general.
I think my communication. I think
It's good.
it's gotten. I think it's to a much better level now, and in different ways. Okay, I'll give you one example on what my communication. I think it's good. And I think it's a green flag because it's towards someone. Like if I think something positive, or I mean, let's say positive. I'm gonna tell you. You know, like I like to tell people the good stuff. I'm
Oh,
very
okay.
advocate of like, well, if you thought about it, say it. Like you can make someone stay. Like, or if if
That's
you
true.
think that shirt was nice, you should tell the person that's walking by. Or like you think the purse or the shoes. I'm not often, but a lot of the times I will be that person that it's like, oh my god, your shoes are very pretty, or oh, your hair is very nice, your hair color, or whatever, right? Or even at work, like whenever the guys are doing good, I'm like, that was really tough. That good job, man. Like I don't, I'm very like words
Yeah,
of
yeah,
affirmation, towards like my loved ones too. So I'm very like vocal about a lot of stuff, or like, yeah, dude, like you have
yeah.
a
That's
bad day,
nice.
but
That's
that's
true.
because of this, that's because of that, because you happen doing good, like so.
But do you think you're like that because you
Because I
like to
didn't get
receive
it.
that?
Yes, I'm just kidding. Yes, I
Y
think
salió
so.
la red flag.
I know. La llorona. That is a red flag,
La
baby. Oh my
llorona.
god, that is a red flag. I think
Que lloras
that I
mucho.
cry a lot. Well, not. I
Or
don't
maybe
think I
my
cry.
red flag is that I don't
You don't
cry. No, hombre, están saliendo como si nada.
No, but
La que no tenían.
sí, like no tenían. Yeah, I think
Hey, maybe that is a red flag. I don't cry.
yeah, and that I cry too much. I cry much less now though. I was editing the video yesterday, like the other one. We were talking about
Estás
how
llorando.
I was. No, girl, I got anxiety. I was like, what was I talking about? No, I think because I was talking about set stuff, and I'm like, girl, you bumming me out, host. Yeah, but it definitely gave me like a little bit of anxiety. I finished it this morning, so I'm like, this girl is bumming me. But yes, that I think that's my green flag that I communicate. Yes, I think normally we give what we like, no? So I do
Sí,
give words of affirmation. And I do like them.
tienes que aprender a que lo que a ti te gusta, no a toda la gente le puede gustar. Y tienes que kind of like tailor it per person. But, por ejemplo, si tú me dices a mí como que, you did great, it might make me uncomfortable. Like, I'm gonna be like,
It
okay,
does.
thank you.
Say
Actually, like, you know what? It makes me, no, I mean, when family tells me no me este, pero cuando otras personas me dicen,
you're like
even,
what do you bring for lunch?
sí,
Yeah.
I'll feel like, o sea, siento bonito, pero sí me hace sentir un poco raro, porque para mí es como que, like, It was no big deal. I just did what I had to do.
Oh, unless you feel like it's not truthful, then that's when it makes you feel
No, no es
uncomfortable.
eso. Es como que I feel como que underestimate myself sometimes. Like
Mm.
when for someone it could be like, oh my God, you got that done, and to me it's like
I had to.
that's nothing.
You
Like
not tell me to do it.
that's nothing. Like I actually could have done better. Like that's
Mm. And you
my
actually think it.
yeah. So cuando me dicen, oh my God, you did great. Like in me, it's like I didn't because I could have done better. Like so it just makes me feel
Mm.
weird. Pero obviamente like cuando son las cosas diferentes, pues
That
no.
and I get uncomfortable when people tell me about how I look. Like if they,
Ahora
oh,
yo
you
como
look
que
good.
díganme.
Dígame
Y
que me veo
luego,
muy bien. No, I think for me, not about what I know or what I'm doing right. I think I could take those compliments. I love them, as a matter of fact. But if you tell me something about how I look, I get shy. If they're like, oh, your outfit or like your shoes or like, oh, you did this, I noticed that, and I'm like, okay, like I don't know how to walk now, you know, like I think that makes me more nervous
oh, interesting.
because I'm looking it like get me like I'm.
O sea, que te diga cualquier persona o por ejemplo que sea una
No,
amiga
like not
o
close,
like a
not
stranger, you're like,
no, just anybody, anyone but close friends or and family. Close friends and family. Like if it's just
no,
acquaintances
I
or
think
like
if like a stranger tells me like, oh my God, I love, because I actually get that every day. No, I'm kidding. Like sometimes like the other day, what was I wearing? I think I was like something, whatever I was wearing, me dicen, oh my God, I love, like said, like your outfit. I love
mm-hmm.
your outfit. And I feel good because I mean, I don't know this person. It's
They're
like
being honest,
they're being
right?
honest. And because and maybe because when I say it, because when I have said it before, I'm like, oh my God, I love your shirt. Or like, where did you get your shoes? Like I have said it before. For me, it's genuine. Like if I don't feel it, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say it. I don't know you,
right.
and no tengo que quedar bien. So I think that's why like like I do appreciate it when they tell me. Pero ya no me
No.
dicen nada porque ando tan
Hace
fodona.
mucho
Me andan
tiempo
dando
que...
suéteres.
No, thank you. But yeah, no, that makes me uncomfortable for sure. 100% sure.
It's funny how we're like so different.
What do you mean?
Like
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yin and yang.
A mí compliment me. A mí no este.
Right,
Pero
but then you don't like it when people tell you good job
pero
on what you
no
did.
me gusta cuando me lo dicen mucho. Like por
No, yeah,
ejemplo,
that's anybody though.
cuando me dicen like if you're gonna compliment me, por ejemplo, digamos que I don't know, you compliment me too much in one day. I'm like,
In one day.
yeah, I had a
Wonder had
person. I had a
that.
person like will compliment me like every chance they had, and
Oh,
in my head I was like,
was it a guy?
that's a bit much. See,
Well, yeah, he was trying to get at you. He
ah,
was just bugging.
me enfado.
Oh my god, what are some? Do you have any icks?
Icks.
Yeah, or like
It's
any?
funny because I feel like I
Or
do, but I don't
mm,
think I have ever connected the two. What's an ick? What's an ick?
something that gives you the ick, like or
It could be like
there's
a
another word for it. What is it? Where is it? What is it? Not a red flag. It's kind of like turn offs. There's another word.
if
I literally had it.
I'm sorry, if I'm dating someone and they
Oh
happen
no. Let's. What? Do you have any pet peeves? That's. Do you know what that is? A pet
yes,
peeve?
but I've never been able to answer that question.
Really? No, yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
Dude,
You hate when
my
people
knee is
chew
hurting.
gum.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. My pet peeve
Is people
is when
chewing.
people eat lo que sea, chicle, comida, lo que sea, y están haciendo ruidos con la boca.
Yeah. No.
I can't concentrate. Te quiero.
Last time I saw a video on Instagram, and they're like someone I guess was recording their job. I think they had detailed a car or something. I don't know. It was like a random page que me salió. And they had no music background. They literally were like recording like before, and then the after clip came out, right? I guess they forgot to remove the audio or something, girl. I kid you not. It was like
Girl, I
oh,
can't.
it
I
pissed me
can't.
off.
Like if it's I don't think it's ever happened to
Report.
me. Seriously, I don't think I've ever dated anyone that does it. Like
Well, it's
that.
not that common. I don't think it's that common for
No,
us.
pero las veces que me salen, I'm just like, oh my God. Porque no es, porque yo digo que a veces uno está como muy sensible a eso, Pero me ha pasado de que yo estoy en mi mundo, a lo mejor ni siquiera conozco a la persona, estamos comiendo algo y empieza, like me saca de mi mundito and I'm just like, y no me puedo desconcentrar. Like I'm hearing it and I'm like one
Yeah.
Mississippi, two Mississippi, like trying to distract myself.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that for sure it's a pet peeve. Like I can't stand it. Even like in like when I'm watching a video, like en el internet, y
You hear
que
it?
a veces que hacen como los comerciales de que comida y
Oh
eso, y que,
yeah.
and I'm just like,
You hate them. Oh, okay.
no me gusta. I'm like, and I'm like, I don't like it. And
That
I,
is
and
so
I
funny.
understand, like a veces que hasta yo misma lo he hecho como que a veces tu boca automáticamente hace como ese ruido.
Oh, but it's different.
Like it's different, but I'm like, cuando estás comiendo y haces ese
Yeah, like continuously.
me da asco, me da mucho, mucho, mucho asco. Yeah, so that for sure is a pet peeve. What else? I don't like. It's not a pet peeve.
You're like, what is that thing you do?
Remember that thing I told you? Like,
Like that you do. I hate smokes, like smoke, like cigarette and weed. I hate smoke.
Yeah, but that's not
If
a
I'm
pet peeve, see? That's just
I
like
hate the
como
smell
que,
of it. It's like you
dude,
turn me off.
cigarro, si huele a cigarro me duele la cabeza. Like this gives me a headache. Like immediate, like it's cigarette, not weed, cigarette. Like el otro día, ¿cuándo fue? Ayer o antier. I was talking fine, whatever. I don't know where I was at. And de repente alguien así a lo lejos estaba fumando. And like cuando me dio el golpe, like I was just like, fuck, because like right away siento como que algo me está jalando de aquí. Like it's immediate.
Wow.
So cuando duró mucho tiempo en el olor, like my headache just me duele mucho. Y lo curioso es de que antes a mí me gustaba mucho el olor de cigarro. El olor de cigarro y el olor de gasolina. So yo pienso que a lo mejor lo olí mucho,
You're
que
like,
mi cuerpo es like, me acuerdo cuando mi tío fumaba, y me sentaba ahí.
Oh my god, girl.
Like, because I like the
your
smell.
lungs are on.
Oye, de veras, I probably have like,
No,
obviously not, but, pero antes me gustaba mucho, so el hecho de que ahora me afecta a ese punto, I'm like, that's kind of weird. Pero sí, I mean, that's not a pet peeve. I mean, if my man smokes,
no,
that
like
would be
would be
an
I
ick.
hate people who walk, like say we're walking down a block, right? Walking down a block, I'm walking behind someone and they're smoking. It's like, can you stop walking? Just
oh my god, it's so funny you say that because
walking
yesterday
behind a person that's smoking has I think for me it's like, don't do that.
I know yesterday I went to the gym and we warm up, like I go for a run, right? So I'm running back to go inside of the gym and I was behind a guy that was smoking. So me está pegando todo. And I was like, hay dos tipos de personas. Ese está fumando a las 6 de la mañana y yo estoy corriendo para hacer fit.
And it sucks because you're running, so you're breathing harder.
So, yes. And I was like,
oh my god.
I felt so bad, so I just kind of went around him and I was like, what the hell? It's too early for a cigarette. Come agüita, oiga.
No, yeah, that's for me. I hate walking behind a person that's smoking. Like, can you just pull aside and have your cigarette? That's fine.
I have another ick.
What is it?
Or pet peeve, whatever applies. Someone that brags about themselves too much. I hate it. Yeah. Because like ahora ya no
self-compliments
themselves. Ahora ya no te creo. Ahora es como que now I think it's the opposite. Like cuando dices tú like, oh, I'm really good at jumping jacks, and I know you're not good. Like if you're saying it too much, I'm like, you're insecure about that. Like that's how I take it. Maybe they are good and maybe they're just very, very confident. Pero no me gusta que estén like bragging a lot. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. I hate that on like people that I guess like on guys
and
when
then
they brag about the stuff they have. Like if they brag about like the car they have or the stuff they had, it's like, oh, stop.
Oh yeah.
Or like I'm this and that. Or
and I'm like, oh, I'm not 15 and you're not gonna impress me.
I hate when people brag.
Let me see your credit score.
Oh, you know.
Let me see your credit score. Then you impress me.
Yeah.
Then we're talking.
That is annoying when someone just talks about themselves, or like when they're fishing for compliments as well.
Yeah, if I notice that they're fishing for compliments, you're not gonna get one.
I hate people
You're not going to get one ever.
that's I mean the gum thing is it's a pet peeve for me too. The gum thing, the showing off too, I guess. Oh no. What else? I'm sure I have some more.
And it's crazy because like the ASMR thing,
Mm-hmm.
like people like that. Like the noise. And I'm like, y'all are sick. Y'all are sick.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's gross.
In
My
case
mom
anyone
watches
likes it.
that. Ew, no. I'll bring my hot Cheetos and
My
show
mom
you.
does not watch that.
Yes, she does.
The yum yum.
Yes, and I've told her, I'm like, you give my dad all this nonsense about how he shouldn't. And she's like, no, pero es diferente. I swear to you, she watches it. She's like, it's because they're. I don't even know what reason she gave, but I'm like, you really? So you hate him?
That's weird.
It's like, I do actually. But yeah,
That's weird.
My
I have another pet
What is
peeve or ick, whatever. If I'm dating someone and they come to my house and they open my fridge without asking,
if you're
they
dating
just
someone,
go
if you're dating someone
open.
or anybody.
I feel like anybody,
Anyone?
My accent is coming. Anybody, este,
So feel
yeah,
better.
with anyone it will bother me, but it will bother me more with the
Oh.
person I'm dating. If it's like the first time I
Is it
invite
because
you
there's
over and
nothing in
then
there? I just kidding.
es que no lo limpié, o sea, no me dan chance de limpiarlo. No, se me hace disrespectful. It's like,
Yeah, no, it is.
you gotta at least ask me. Like,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't care.
Yeah.
So he says, hey, you have a water? Yeah, get it from the fridge. Like, I'll say that. But you just get there and you start opening my cabinets or my fridge. I'm just like,
You good?
why are you doing that? Like, I don't, no me gusta.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That is a little disrespectful, though, no?
Yeah.
To just go dig it. It's like it. I mean, it's not like they're going inside your room and like opening up your drawers to see.
People
Like,
do that.
oh my god, that's weird.
People do that.
Yeah, sure, I can borrow. Like,
I'm like, I don't know. That's weird to me. Like, why do you get out of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like basically like them just helping themselves. But yeah, they should.
Which is fine, porque, por ejemplo, si yo te digo, si alguien, por lo regular, si alguien va a mi casa, I'll be like, hey, you know, you need anything, like there's a fridge, feel free to grab whatever. So yo les digo, háganlo, está bien, no me importa, puedes hacer lo que tú quieras. Pero si yo no te digo, hazlo, aunque tengo pensado decirte que lo hagas, pero lo haces antes de tiempo, no. I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's
like you just, this is not your house, you don't own this place, like what do you mean?
That's true.
No, llegaste con las manos vacías y vienes a abrirme el refrigerador.
Yeah, no, that's true. I don't know if I have any more pet peeves. There's like little things that are annoying to me, but I don't know if they're pet peeves. I think when people that assume or like they invalidate someone's feelings, I think that's like irks me. But that's more like a it irks me, like kind of like
irks me. That's a cool word.
Well, like if they say like, oh yeah, because you don't understand because you don't have any kids, or like you don't understand because this, like I've literally had people tell me that, like you don't understand, or you don't feel like that because you don't have kids, or you don't understand because like or even anything.
Like, no. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I think once, like not that long ago, someone said, oh, because our upbringing, like we have this upbringing, and I remember thinking like, have you asked me about my upbringing? Like, do you have one? Obviously I wouldn't tell you, I don't care to tell you, but for you to say like you probably don't have that upbringing, that's why you don't understand, it's like crazy to me, like the respectfully, the balls of that, because you truly don't know. Like I get so passionate about that. like when they assume, like don't ever assume that someone hasn't gone through something, like you don't know.
That is true.
Like you don't know what someone has gone through, you don't know their upbringing, you don't know their traumas, and you don't know their fears, you don't know their, so it's like
esa pedrada va para mí.
No. You're like, did I say that?
Assuming. I'm always like, no.
Really? No,
not really.
I mean, don't assume you're not gonna get your ass beat. I'm just kidding. You're not gonna get your ass beat. Just kidding. Don't assume, no. But people that just speak like like that. Like,
no, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's
just
true.
so carelessly, and
like they know it
because
all.
I
Like
feel
don't
like I'm
even.
very strict in who I am, or like I come off maybe some kind of way, but I'm not disrespectful. I again, I can be very like serious, very unfriendly, very this, but I am not disrespectful. I think for me is that like if you're disrespectful towards anything or just in general, I think you and I had talked about that before. That I'm like I can't, like it's bigger than me. And like in the beginning, I remember you and I had the conversation, but it was more about like when kids this, but I came to realize I'm like kids are kids,
Kids,
like.
yeah.
But then a full on adult like make these comments and invalidate people, like okay, sir, yeah, like sure, you know, for kind of like because if you
It's
think about it,
hard.
all it is a perspective.
Yeah.
It's your perspective, my perspective, but you are on validating my perspective and saying yours is correct by saying yeah, you feel this way because you haven't even gone probably through any of this. You get me? You just
Yeah.
say I'm wrong, or just say you don't agree.
That's
So
true.
I think that's something that irks me. I'm not sure if that could be a pet peeve. Maybe because every time it happens, it does kind of like don't say that, like
And like, do you see the person differently now? Like, ya como que si es como una amistad, like you don't talk to them
Well,
the same.
no, it's funny because I don't think I've ever had like a friend say that.
Mm.
I don't see them differently because normally I can see the pattern in them of like, yeah, you would say that because you said this earlier. Like it's almost like they get there, like they'll build there.
Mm-hmm.
They build up, the energy. And no, I don't think I've ever. Have you ever had like a friend say something out of pocket? I can't remember of like really. I don't think I've had. If anything,
I
maybe
think,
I'm that friend that says out of pocket stuff.
o sea, out of pocket, you mean like como
Like
que,
like they say something and they're like, oh crap, I didn't think you had that perspective, or like I didn't think you
like about
felt.
my personality?
No, about anything in
Oh,
general.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Que realmente it's
Como
not
que, oh,
how.
is that really how you think? Like, ese tipo
Yeah,
de
or like,
cosas.
oh, like something they did or said where you're like, oh crap, like I didn't know you thought that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I had that happen a couple of times, pero no te puedo decir ahorita
Like
como que un
pinpoint.
ejemplo. Pero sí me acuerdo, I'll bring it up next time. Pero sí, I've had those moments a couple times, for sure. For
Have
sure.
you have you ever
I've
been on
had
a
people like tell me like, oh, well, you're this, and that. Y yo me quedo como que,
yeah.
I am. Because, and I don't like disvalidate. Like, I don't, because I'm like, that's who I am with you. And I'm like, I'm not realizing that I'm giving you that, like, ese lado mío,
Right,
¿no?
but that's how you're being with them. Doesn't mean that's how you
Yeah,
are
so I was
necessarily.
like,
I
but
get
for
that.
like at the beginning when they would tell me like something like that, it would like really affect me because I'm like, but I'm not like that. And then it took me a while to understand
Oh.
that I was like, okay, well, why am I being like that? And like, what's triggering it? What's all that psychology behind it? Not that I'm a therapist, but you kind of start learning your
Yeah.
own patterns. And the only reason I learn is because people will point them out, and then you start thinking. Pero sí, like, sí me senté como que like, oh, I would have never guessed like I did that, or I thought like that. And el problema es de que, como te digo, like, I don't show emotion as much. Like, if you hurt me, like, I feel like before, because now I think I've gotten so much better, and I'm a lot more open, I could honestly say that. But before, si tú me lastimabas mis sentimientos, okay, like, I'm hurting,
Yeah.
pero I'm gonna move on with my day. Like, my coping mechanism, it was like, forget about it. Like, se me olvidaba, yo sé que tú me lastimaste, pero no me voy a acordar por qué. No me voy a acordar qué me dijiste, yo no sé que hay algo, una cosita ahí.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to move on. And then after a while, que me hacen muchas, and even though I don't remember what you did, ya exploto, ya pues cuando me desaparezco, ¿no? Casparín, me voy. Pero ahora I feel like I'm a little more open. I'm like, hey, like, I don't like that. Like, you said this and this and that. And I also, before, no lo hacía porque tenía miedo de perder la amistad o perder el novio, lo que sea, whatever. Ahora I'm more like, whatever. Like, if you're a friend and I'm gonna lose the friendship, then I'm sorry. Like, I'm not gonna put up with it. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. For me, like, communication is very, 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 very important with a friend, with a partner, con cualquier persona, communication, because if I tell you how I feel and you disregard it, then I don't need you in my life. Like you just don't, because you're already telling me you don't care about my feelings. And I'm not telling you so you could be like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, 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 no. Let's find the solution, because I'm also able to understand that maybe what you said or what you did to me no tiene mala intención, cosa que lo puedo entender, pero tenemos que hablarlo del tema. Tenemos para que poder entender de que pues me va a lastimar, pero tú no lo quieres ver así, like, you get me? So I think I went in a tantrum, and I mean, I went to something else. Ya no me acuerdo qué estábamos hablando.
Your pet peeve?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But see, I that's one of my things.
Yeah. I had and with what you were saying, like in the beginning, I had someone to like it has happened to me where like someone tells me like, oh, you're like this, which actually has happened to me often. Like, you like that, you like. I think I built my own like perspective of myself at some point with what everybody else thought of me. And I remember like even like I had moments where I'm like, no, I'm a nice person. Like like I don't have bad feelings or this and that. But like no, like and just hearing, and I still hear it up to this day where you're like, no, like you're mean, like you're like, and I'm like, what am I? But I get that think, very much. Yeah. Like not, I won't ask, but like they'll be like, oh no, because you're the mean one, and like they don't know, but like, obviously it hurts my feelings a little bit because it's like.
But then, have you ever stopped and wonder why they think that?
I'm very strict, like okay. But not like a mean strict. It's funny because like, obviously, okay, I'm very much like that. I'm here to work. It's like funny.
Yeah, I know
also,
what you mean.
I'm in sales. I wouldn't be that person. Like when I was working at my old job, it was. I mean, obviously it was sales too, but it wasn't.
It was very. It was customer service.
Yeah, it was customer service, dude. Like nobody cared. Like we all cared of just doing. And those guys like were like if they were in sales, honestly. So, like, I was in my own world. I'm that person. Like, I'm in my own little world, and then I'll chat with you, and then we're in lunch or we're whatever. Like, yeah, like that was like the perfect environment, really, until it wasn't. But over here it's like, no, we're in sales. You need to sell, like you need to,
because you have your commission.
And so here's the thing about me, right now it's like there's two very different opinions that are working against one another, so it's a little hard. But I think if I was alone, it would flow a little bit easier. I am very like direct, kind of like, what are we supposed to be doing? Okay, to give you an example. Okay, we're supposed to be be making 30 calls a day. We're supposed to be getting 4 phone numbers, and we're supposed to be creating appointments. So appointments become your sales. And with that, it's like you have to post, right? Let's just say post on Facebook. If it's 1 p.m. and you came in at 10 and you haven't posted, how are you going to sell? Like, that's how I think. I won't say those words, but I'm like, how are you going to sell? And then I'll go on and check the calls. You have 5 calls. I'm going to be pissed. Like, I'm going to be upset, right? Like, so, and again, this is just me thinking. So let's just say with the cost, like I normally send like a summary of like, these 5 guys, like here are your costs for the day. 3 p.m. I'll put 3 p.m. costs. And then the ones that have 5 will see they have 5. The ones that have the 30 already will see they have, right? It's just like a whatever. And obviously the ones that don't do their job are the ones that be like, well, you're exposing me. Like they get that as like you're exposing me, but it's like, no, like you
feel exposed because you didn't do your job,
right? So I'm very much like the post, like, do your job. Like I feel very strongly about that. Kind of like you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z. Are you doing X, Y, and Z? I was gonna say something earlier, but I forgot.
Yo quiero preguntar.
Oh my God! Yes, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because you mentioned that. I think you said something earlier where you said, "Oh, I had people tell me that I'm like this." I think that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Well, I had this one person one time tell me. He's like, well, I feel bad for whoever you end up with, right? I was how old was I? 22.
I'm like, me too, boy.
Yeah,
Me too.
same. And then he was like, well, I feel bad with, he was being petty. Like, he's like, I feel bad who you ever end up with. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I feel bad for your future husband. And then I was like, why? I'm like, you don't know how I'm going to act with them. I'm like, and I told him I was being sarcastic because I knew they were being petty. And then I was like, oh, you think that I'm going to treat them the way that I'm treat you? Like, no. And I was like, I don't care about you. Like, I literally told him, I was like, I don't care about you. I'm not gonna treat him like not. And it was so petty for the both of us because it's so dumb. Yeah. That person tried to get at me. Yes, so that's the plot twist. Like they try to, like, just kind of get at me. Like that's they were a little annoying with it. And that one time, I don't even know why he said. He's like, I feel bad who you ever end up with. And then I'm like, oh, you think I would treat them the way I treat you? I'm like, no, I don't care about you. And then they were like so annoyed. They were like so annoyed. But yeah, all my life.
I'll be like,
and I think that's what people say all the time. I think, yeah, maybe like I've built up this persona. And it's funny because it's nothing like I am with like the people I love. Like,
but then like, why?
People I love are
and
like,
why be two people?
I'm not. I just get.
But you are.
No, I think I'm very passionate about what I do.
But you just said you just built this persona.
Well, yes, because I'm not like, how do I say it? I'm not strict in any. I told my mom, I'm like, I'm not strict on anything I do, which I should. I should be on my grind about cleaning my house, about doing all this stuff. Like I should be on my grind about everything else, but I just not, mom. Like, but that thing I clock in and I'm like, we're gonna sell. Like, and I told her, I'm like, if there's like one thing I can confidently do is my job. Like here's one thing about me. You know how I mentioned about compliments and stuff like that? I don't like, they make me feel a little bit awkward for the most part. Okay. And this is going to sound so funny because not so long ago, one of the sales guys, they needed help, right? And I went out and I spoke to them and I basically reacted the whole situation to my mom. And I'm like, oh, this happened and that happened. Mm-hmm. But these questions, I believe these questions weren't asked to what led them to be here. So this is how I handle it. So I went in there and I asked them this and that. And then they said, no, but this and but that. Right? I played out the whole thing. And then my mom was like, you intimidate me. And I was like, why? I was like, I didn't say anything bad. So I always go into like, oh, I didn't say anything bad, did I? And she's like, no, you didn't. She's like, but like you would be intimidating. Like and she's like, not in a bad way, but like if I'm buying a car, like you would have me thinking of like maybe I should buy a car. I'm like, no, well they're there because they want to buy. She's like, no, it makes sense. I guess for her it's like it's something different. Like you're not scary, you're not, but like you are like business, kind of like you, the things that you say. Not, she's like, no es ni siquiera como lo estás diciendo, pero las palabras que estás usando o the way, the questions you ask them, it's not something I would think someone would ask me. And I was like, well, they're not disrespectful, are they? She's like, no. She's like, it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but you're the way you ask what's it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, that's funny because that day after we closed the sale or whatever, and again, I try to be like as nice as I can with the customers. I'm so against, like, don't force anybody to buy anything. If you were to speak to me that way, like, I personally wouldn't buy for you. Like, you know, that's not the way.
Well, like they start pressuring you.
Yeah, don't go tell people, well, good luck. Like, let's see who else is going to qualify you. Excuse me? Like, don't say that. Yeah, even if that is the case. It may be the case. Like
they'll come back if no one else qualifies you.
Yeah, but, and I'm like, for me, go ahorro cash y me lo compro cash. Like, just to not go back to that place, you know? So it's like, don't say, tell that to people. Okay, so that day after that sale, the sales guy was like, wow, you've gotten so good at closing customers. And then I was like, I've always been good. Like, you know, so and I told mom, like, I made that comment, which was so, like, out of pocket, you know, like, it was so annoying for me to say. But I told mom, I'm like, you know what, mom? Like, I think that's probably the only occasion where I would say something like that. Of, like, I've always
because, like, you're
good.
Confident. Like, you're because you have always been good. So
my mom said that. She's like, well, you have always been good. Yeah. And I was like, well, I've been there for quite some time. She's like, no, you've been doing it with the pizza. She's like, you've been selling drawings.
Oh my God.
I was like, I forgot about that. She's like, no, it's in your nature. And I'm like, yeah, and I told him, like, yeah, I've always been good. And he just laughed, and it's cool, whatever. And then he's like, no, but like, you're better. I'm like, I think it's because when I came back, my Spanish was really bad. I'm like, it is still getting better, but I'm like, you know? And then I was like, it was really bad. I realized, especially because you use the same words and the same words and the same words. So esas palabras se me borraron. And then I come back and I'm like, how do I say this? How did I used to word it? Like, no, I can't word it like that. You know? So
I
it
guess
came
that's
back
why,
like very nostalgic, I feel. So then now that I have my words back and now I can talk with the customers, I can.
It's like
it just flows completely.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think it was the language. And he's like, you think so? And I'm like, I think so. And he's like, that's true. It could be that. It could be that. And he's like, you're really good. And I was like, thanks. But yeah, and it was like, it's never like insulting the customer or anything. Yeah, I think for me, with the guys, I think I'm just very passionate about what I do. And if I'm out there taking pictures of cars and I am bringing in customers,
right.
I'm bringing in
because
appointments, like I expect them to do it.
Because you don't even have to do that, right?
It's not my
not
full
exactly.
job. Not my main job. But I do my job, and then I'm outside taking pictures of cars, and then I bring in people. I think these questions of like, maybe I'm questioning them. It's because I counted that I brought in 11 and you didn't bring any. So it's like, what aren't we doing? Okay, because the cars, we got a truck of cars earlier, and have you taken pictures? No. Yeah, you need to be taking pictures. You know? So those are the conversations I'm having, but it's hard because I had to like come out of nowhere when they weren't doing anything. Like nothing at all, right? And then obviously like person two, like they're like, it's like, oh, everybody's the same. You know, everyone's the same.
Eso es lo malo cuando entras a una compañía que ya tiene como su manera
ya tiene
de hacer
su grupo
y su click.
Yeah.
So sí es un poquito difícil, pero pues hey, like, I mean, eso es, te agarraron para eso, like, te agarraron para que tú sacaras la tienda adelante, básicamente.
And I tell them all the time, I'm like, and we got a new guide too. We have like people coming in, and I'm like, if you ever feel like I came off a certain way, or any of these guys came off a certain kind of way, and you feel uncomfortable, I'm like, please let me know. I'm like, you shouldn't be feeling uncomfortable. You should be.
Y lo curioso es de que like nunca te van a decir nada. Like they probably go to like to your boss before they come to you. Even though you're being like, hey, like tell me, like, because I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I don't think they will ever go to you.
I mean, maybe not to me.
Because of me.
Not like because of me.
Porque lo voy a churir.
No, because no, yeah. I think say with the new guy that came in, I've laid out like, look, this is what we're supposed to be doing, and at this time you'll pose. I normally post at this time, so you can as well. And he's doing it, like he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, you know. So no me arruinen.
No me lo contaminen, por favor. Sí. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because we had a coworker like that too. That he was like very good. He was good, and then one of the old employees was like, a ver cuánto dura. And then now you see them all like, I'm like, no, yeah, like, no, you were my last hope. Oh my God.
Is it customer service or what is he? Oh my God.
Todo demacrado el pobre.
That is so funny. You had a question?
No.
Yeah, you said you were gonna say something and I interrupted you.
No, I was gonna like,
you said go on
change the topic a lot.
A lot of it.
A lot of it. Because we're coming towards the end of the episode, and I was thinking while you were like talking, I was like, no, I was thinking, I'm like,
Fígaro,
do you
right?
sell
Fígaro.
Apagué la luz. Apagué la estufa.
Literally.
Desconecté la plancha del pelo.
You just get up and start looking at something. Like, that's funny. And they're like, and this is why we haven't subscribed.
Dude, I broke my nail. It's like a la mitad, and it keeps bugging me because I keep hitting it. But I was gonna ask you, like, do you celebrate Halloween?
Do I celebrate? What do you mean?
Because Halloween is coming up, and we are in American United States, so aquí se celebra Halloween. Y como somos ni de aquí ni de allá, I want to know if we celebrate Halloween. Because en México no existe Halloween.
Oh, yeah, I know. No.
No es cierto, sí existe. Pero cuando vivíamos allá no existía.
¿Ya existe ahora?
Ahora ya existe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In the Eastern too, or what?
Easter.
Eastern?
Easter siempre.
Oh, ¿el de conejo?
Acción de
No.
Acción de
Oh, pero no es
Pascua.
de conejo, right? De
Oh, the
conejo,
hunting the
yeah.
eggs. No.
Thanksgiving tampoco existe.
No, Thanksgiving tampoco.
Tampoco Navidad.
Ah,
Ese sí,
tampoco.
tampoco.
No. Yeah, because like I was thinking about it. I was like, I remember growing up, my mom like will let you go trick or treating, because you were younger, so I feel like you experienced more of the culture from here. I was older, so I didn't experience. Just remember dressing up as a diablito one year, and that was it. And you dressed up more, and they'll take you trick or treating. And
I think it was more than 1 year.
me,
Both of us.
no, you did a lot more. I remember, porque me dolían mis sentimientos porque a mí no me compraban disfraz. But then I was also like older, so I get it. But I mean, I will go trick or treating. I just wouldn't dress.
Oh.
Pero yo me acuerdo growing up, ya como de teenager, like they would invite me to Halloween parties, and I never went because like I wouldn't go to parties. But I always wanted to throw a Halloween party because I'm like, because I've never gone to one, and like I've never done this, or like I wanted to go to a Halloween party that maybe I was invited and dress up and do all the things.
Yeah.
Pero cuando me han invitado, I'm like,
dress up.
Like no, like no me interesa.
Oh.
Like no me interesa. So it's like como que I've always wanted it so much that now that I could do it, I'm like, no, porque por ejemplo, like en la oficina, yo estoy encargada de la decoración este año, ¿verdad? So no tenemos nada de decoración de Halloween, so yo me puse a buscar.
Oh my God.
So I got a whole bunch of decorations. Yo nunca he comprado decoración de Halloween, right? But when I was buying it, I was like, this is weird. Like, estoy pecando. Like, sentía como que my other me. And then like now that the office is decorated, it feels a little weird. But I am gonna dress up like something simple. Like I'll still do it. Pero sí cierta parte de mí like se siente un poquito raro.
I get spooked up. I'm not against it. I don't know if I celebrate it because normally I'm working, but I'm okay. Like I like to see the decorations and stuff like on the other houses, but what I tell friends, I'm like, I don't know if I like to decorate stuff. Maybe like funny little things, but not like actually scary stuff.
No.
I'm like, because I feel like it brings bad vibe, and also we have to put that stuff away, like So I think I get spooked up. It's not that I don't celebrate it, but I think I would if I could. Like if I was off weekends, and then every year for Christmas. I mean, I would say Christmas instead of Halloween. Oh, weird.
It's just a little angel and the little devil fighting.
Yeah. I would definitely go to Halloween parties, but
I mean, I love Christmas. Christmas is the best holiday because all the Christmas lights.
Christmas is cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
But I after a while, I think I get
bored.
No, I get seasonal depression. I've noticed. Like it's dark too long.
It's not the darkness, it's the cold. Because after a month of darkness, it kind of gets fixed, so it's not as dark.
Too permanently dark. I was kidding. Like I think for me, it's too dark too long. I do like the I don't know. I like it, but I could get over it. I get sad.
I know people that the weather gets them like depressed. Como que I just want to be laying down, like watching movies.
Oh, that's different. I want to do that too.
And no, pero cuando it's like too much, like they're really like they're down. Y yo estoy como que like, I'm gonna wear this, my boots, my knee-high boots, my scarf. Like a mí me encanta. Pero I mean, I guess I like winter. And spring. I think fall, winter, and spring are like my favorite. Like en cuanto empieza Thanksgiving para adelante, I'm just like the happiest. The happiest.
Yeah. I wonder what's my least. I don't know if fall.
Summer.
I think fall is my least favorite. Yeah.
Because we don't have fall here. Fall in the East Coast or anywhere else except for California, it's beautiful.
Because I like winter because it rains. And obviously I love spring. Spring is my favorite.
En California, aquí no llueve.
I love spring because that's my favorite, and then I love summer.
You love
So
summer?
there's only 4 seasons, right?
Let's see.
I think fall is my least favorite because it's sad. It's like a sad little season. Because if you think about it, it's only
too.
dark. It only starts to get dark, and
True.
that's all it is.
True.
There's no
Wait,
rain.
¿cuándo empieza winter? December, right? December 22nd?
I think so. September, October, November, December, yeah.
I love fall. Like
You love
literally,
an
fall,
instant
winter,
ritual.
spring is my favorite. I don't like summer as much. I hate summer.
I like spring,
Like,
summer,
And I hate it, but like I hate it because I'm in the valley.
Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Nideaqui, yeah.
Don't forget, it's Halloween, so be safe out there.
Yes.
I know we're gonna be going to stranger houses, but take a
Stranger danger.
pepper spray or something. But have fun. And yeah, see you guys next week.
Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And
Bye.
the pineapple.
And the upside down pineapple.
Down.
Bye.